Hi, I'm Natasha. I am starting this YouTube channel to help my clients. I'm a licensed child and adolescent counselor, and I work with kids and teenagers and adults of all different ages. I'm also a mom to 5 kids. My kids are right now age 13, 15, 20, 22, and 23. So kind of we're in the teenage, young adult years, past grade school, past toddler, all that stuff, and now into a different phase of life. I want to teach what I think is the number one parenting strategy that parents should have that they aren't using. It's the very first thing I teach parents in my practice when they come in. We talk about reflecting feelings, and I teach them how to do this. This is something you can use for all ages. You can use it for your littles, for the toddlers, you can use it for elementary school kids, you can use it for your teenagers. I mean, it's such a great skill. I just want to go to a little history. My first child as a little one, she was super easy, and kind of any parenting strategy that we tried, it worked for her. You know, you put her in a room for timeout and she'd stay there and it would work, and the behavior would change, and you know, we felt like great parents. And then we got a second kid who had a little more of a strong will as a little guy. And so when he was 3 is when we learned this skill, because he would throw tantrums, and you would put him in his room for a timeout or for a rest, and he'd kick the door and he'd throw things at the door, and we just didn't know how to handle it. And so we actually were in some marriage counseling at the time, and she taught us this amazing skill that changed everything. And what she taught us was to reflect feelings. And so if our little guy was mad, she taught us to like be mad too, you know? And not actually be mad, but like let him know like you're mad, and even to match the energy of that in our countenance, in our tone, in our body language, just so he really knew we understood that he was so mad right then. And as soon as we started to do that with him and reflect that feeling and like match that, just that understanding of like, we see you, we see that you're so mad right now, man, those tantrums like went away. They lessened so much. Because I think kids, what they do is if you don't understand them when they are saying it, or they're crying, or they're stomping, or they're whatever they're doing, I mean, if you don't understand why they're doing it, that you don't let them know why they're doing that, by reflecting the feeling of that moment, they get louder, they get bigger, they throw things, they yell louder, they throw their bodies around, they swear at you, they call you names, they just get bigger and louder until they feel like they've been heard. And so what I'm gonna do on this YouTube channel, at least to start, is just to teach how to reflect feelings, how to use this really powerful parenting strategy so that you can have more peace in your home, more joy, so that you have better experiences with your kids where they drive you less crazy or have these meltdowns and tantrums that you don't know what to do about and that are just so hard to handle and deal with. And like I said, this is a skill that you can use for all ages of kids. You can use it for your little ones, for the toddlers, for the elementary school kids. You can use it with them. You can use it with your teenagers, because teenagers, a big part of what they need parents for is just to dump all their emotions onto us. And so if you can just understand their emotions and understand what they're feeling in those moments, man, that helps them so much. Then we kind of feel burdened by those feelings sometimes, but they're like, I'm good to go. So like with your teenagers, you know, when they come home and they're so mad at the algebra teacher because she lost their paper or she's not teaching things well, you just reflect that feeling of they're frustrated. They're frustrated that they don't have a better teacher. They're frustrated that they have to do the assignment again. And they don't need us necessarily to call up to the school and complain to the admin and get the teacher changed or anything like that. They really just need us to understand their feelings, and then they can go about figuring out how to solve it and how to work through it and what they need to do next to be okay. And so this is such a powerful tool for all ages, and I just want to keep giving this resource to my parents, like where they understand how to use it more often, or places they weren't using it where they can, and just to increase the connection and the relationship, just increase the connection and the relationship that they have with you, so that it's enjoyable and fun to be parents, and not just a thing that wears us out and exhausts us to no end, which it can be when your kids are throwing temper tantrums and they're having meltdowns all the time, and it's lasting for a few minutes to an hour or more. And this skill will just really help with all of those things to lessen those and to create greater connection with you and your kids. So thanks for coming. And the next video that will come up is Reflecting Feelings 101, where I really go into more depth about how to reflect feelings, kind of go to the basics of teaching it, what it looks like, and then how kind of I do that with my parents. And so if you want to watch that video, it will be up here next.